We are at about roughly the halfway mark of the NBA season. 82 game season means 41 games in, and what are the records? 27-14, that's 41, 27-15, that's 42, 27-16. You know how the NBA scheduling is completely messed up, so there's no way to actually have every single team on the exact same win-loss record, because why would they do that? Anyway, long story short, halfway through the NBA season, let's do a quick check-in of every single team and every single award, starting with the MVP award. I'm not looking at the screen. My go-to pick right now would probably have to be Luka Doncic. I have problems with Luka's game. I have problems with the Luka-centric ball that they play. It's kind of James Harden-ish back on the Rockets. He doesn't really pass the ball that well. Every single play is designed for him to be an ISO player, which is fine in theory, but it's just frustrating to watch when guys like Christian Wood are playing well, when guys like Spencer Dinwiddie are playing well. Tim Hardaway Jr. needs the ball in his hands to get a little rhythm to play good basketball. At the end of the day, Luka Doncic has near historic usage rates, so his stats are going to be good because he's a good player. He's just not the best player in the NBA. I still reserve that for either Jason Tatum or Giannis Antetokounmpo, Kevin Durant when he's healthy. Guys like that who play defense on top of being incredible offensively, who facilitate and do everything, are really going to get an extra step in my book. So let's see who's the MVP odds. I'm going to say it goes Luka 1, maybe Jokic 2, Giannis 3. You never know. And MVP odds is Luka 1, Jokic 2, Giannis 3, Jason Tatum 4, Kevin Durant 5, Joel Embiid 6, and Ja Morant 7th. I remember I had Joel Embiid as my preseason MVP. It's a little bit rough right now. Joel Embiid and the 76ers aren't great. Of course, I put all of the blame squarely on the feet of Glenn Doc Rivers, but we will see how that plays out throughout the rest of the season. NBA Rookie of the Year, I did not mean to scroll down because we're going to be guessing this before we do anything. Probably Paulo Banchero, right? Paulo Banchero, then Ben Mathurin behind him, no surprises. Jaden Ivey, I don't think he's having a Rookie of the Year season. He's playing okay, just putting up good counting stats because he's getting a lot of minutes because Cade Cunningham is out. So it is what it is. Jalen Williams, J-Dub having a breakout season out there for the OKC Thunder, and Jabari Smith, a little bit disappointing, all things being equal. Of course, Chet Holmgren, number 2 pick being out. Jabari Smith projected to be the number 1 pick by me and a lot of other guys, and he's just really struggling because the Houston Rockets are a dumpster fire. All right, next award is going to be, I can't see here, 6th Man of the Year, Russell Westbrook. Jordan Poole, Tyler Hero's in the starting lineup. Who else is coming off the bench? I don't know, TJ McConnell. It's going to be Russ 1, Jordan Poole 2, Malcolm Brogdon. That'd be a nice person to select. What are the stats between Russ and Malcolm Brogdon? All right, going back and forth between these guys. So Russ is 15, 6, and 8 in the counting stats. Malcolm is 13, 4, and 4. But efficiency is a whole nother dimension. Russ is 41, 21, 67. Yikes. While Malcolm is 47, 44, 88, 19 PER versus Russell Westbrook's 15.7. So if you just look at counting stats, which is what a lot of people do, you look at storylines, which it makes no sense. Russell Westbrook is, of course, the winner, but I think Malcolm Brogdon certainly having a better overall, more efficient year, and I think he should be the guy who wins the award. That being said, it's probably going to go to Russell Westbrook because he has the narrative. Norman Powell behind him. Ben Mathurin, that would be interesting to have a rookie. Ben Mathurin, of course, having an incredible season. What are the numbers he's putting up? 17 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 42 from the field, 33 from the three-point line. Just start the man. Rick Carlisle, just start Ben Mathurin. What are you doing? I don't know what's going on there. And Bobby Portis, interestingly enough, behind him. All right, let's see. What is the next award? Defensive Player of the Year awards. Unfortunately, I already saw this. It's going to be Jaren Jackson Jr. I would certainly put Robert Williams, even though he's only played a few games, up there. And who else? Rudy Gobert always makes the list. Draymond Green has played unreal defense. He's saved the Golden State Warriors a lot. I think because he's won so much and he's regressing a little bit. He's not quite the same defender that he used to be. He's not going to get in this award, but he certainly deserves to be mentioned. We got Brooke Lopez. I don't know about that. Nick Claxton, certainly. Bam Adebayo and Giannis. So, yeah. Jaren Jackson Jr. right now leading the way. Miles Turner also deserves a shout out. Don't know if he's played enough games, but he has been a block machine out there as well. And the most improved player awards, I already looked at this, unfortunately, so I know that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is odds-on favorite to win, which I don't agree with because I think year by year we kind of seen this coming. It's not like John Morant where he took that superstar step up. We saw that he was a superstar. He's just healthy finally. He's getting minutes finally, and the team is playing okay basketball around him finally. So I would say most improved player. What's his face? I forgot his name. Yeah, Lauri Markkanen certainly is on my list for number 1 most improved player, and it's going to go Shai 1, Lauri 2, Tyrese Halliburton behind him. I don't know about that. Anthony Simons and Jalen Brunson. Actually, I could see that as well. So I would say Jalen Brunson is like most surprised player. Lauri Markkanen would be my 1 and 2. Shai, he's great, we just kind of saw it. So I don't know if it's most improved when we all knew he was going to be this good. Tyrese Halliburton, kind of something similar. I know he's having a breakout season, got hurt though. We know that Tyrese Halliburton is good. We needed him to get into the right system, get trust, get good teammates around him. So like, not that Shea and Tyrese are bad. We just know they're good already. Laurie, we were like, he might be out of the league soon. He's all of a sudden an all-star. Jalen Brunson, he was like, he's maybe a second banana to Luka Doncic. No, he's a bona fide #1 on the New York Knicks, putting them in playoff positioning. So I would say Laurie 1, Jalen 2, repeating myself. Coach of the year odds, man, it's tough because I had Will Hardy at the start of the season because this Utah Jazz squad is horrible. So he certainly still deserves to be up there. Same thing with Chauncey Billups, even though the Blazers have fallen off. So just looking at the standings, I would say Mike Malone certainly deserves to be up there because he's just been juggling these pieces together. Nikola Jokic, obviously a defensive limitation player. Jamal Murray come back from injury. Michael Porter Jr. in and out with injury. Aaron Gordon changed his role to be a bona fide stud, maybe their most important player. A lot of people are saying in these super in-depth analytics videos. So he deserves to be on the list. It's the Nets guy. What's his damn face? It's the Nets guy. Jacques Vaughn, #1. Yeah. Ahead of Taylor Jenkins, I'm sorry. Ahead of Willie Green, I'm sorry. Even ahead of Joe Mazzulla. Jacques Vaughn, if he continues this run, has to be the coach of the year. So that is the awards check-in, looking at the playoff seeding. And I wanted to go team by team and just give them a quick thumbs up, thumbs down report card for how the season is going. Starting with the Boston Celtics, 31-12, first in the NBA, first in the Eastern Conference, first in everything. The Celtics are just rolling. I know they went on a little bit of a stretch here where they lost a couple games, lost back-to-backs against the Magic, weren't winning as impressively. They're starting to get healthy, and the NBA season is a long, grindy season. So just give them the simple thumbs up. Great season from the Celtics. Next team up is the Denver Nuggets, and they are playing, they're playing damn good basketball. Simple as that. Started the season rough. We're struggling to integrate Jamal Murray. It is what it is. They're playing good basketball right now, taking down a whole bunch of good teams. Clippers, Cavaliers, Lakers, Suns, Clippers again, Celtics, Heat. So they're going to be getting the thumbs up as well. Memphis Grizzlies, of course, playing good basketball. They're just solid, fundamental. They win, they lose, they go on streaks. They have their guys healthy. They don't have their guys healthy. They're just a really steady, good team. They're kind of similar to what the Heat used to be in the Eastern Conference, where they're just steady. They're always good. Going to get the thumbs up as well. Brooklyn Nets, 2 thumbs up to Jacques Vaughn. Finally turning this team around. Ben Simmons is still a disaster. Kyrie Irving, though, has been balling out. Kevin Durant making an MVP case. This ridiculous, 12, 13 game win streak that they went on. Best in the NBA, best of the season. And the Nets are rolling once they've finally got a freaking head coach under their belt. Next teams up is going to be the Milwaukee Bucks. And I know they've been struggling a little bit. They're going to have to get a thumbs up just because of their overall body of work throughout the NBA season. Chris Middleton has played, 2 or 3 games and got hurt again. So he's been out basically the whole time. And he is their swing player. He's their closer. He's their guy they go to in the fourth quarter when you need a bucket, mid-range assassin. And look, Giannis is going to be great, but Giannis can't shoot. Drew Holiday is a great defender. He can make occasional clutch buckets when you need him to, but he's not the guy you build your team around. He's the guy who supports the great players that are there, and Giannis can't shoot. But overall, Bucks top to bottom, good season, thumbs up for them. Cleveland Cavaliers as well, bringing over Donovan Mitchell, and unlike DeJounte Murray and unlike Karl Anthony Towns, this is one of those big offseason trades that actually worked out. 2 thumbs up for the Cavaliers, and I have them a little better than I think most other people do. I've got them in title contention. I think this is going to put them over the top. Evan Mobley plays a little better. Darius Garland plays a little better. They got Jared Allen, defensive stud. They got good players, and Isaac Okoro, Caris LeVert. Thumbs up on the Cavaliers season. 76ers, I'm giving a thumbs down. I know they're 25-16, but it's a disappointing 25-16. They beat up on bad teams, they'll lose to bad teams. They'll beat up on good teams, they'll lose to good teams. Now they were dealing with injuries to Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid's in and out of the lineup, but they're 5 games behind the Boston Celtics. I said they were going to be the best team in the NBA. I think their roster, as presently constructed, it's good enough to win. Tyrese Maxey and James Harden, I know they're going to be a defensive liability, but offense matters more than defense in today's game. James Harden, all-star, all-NBA caliber point guard at this point in his career. Tyrese Maxey, bucket getter, all-star. Joel Embiid, MVP, best player in the game. PJ Tucker, great role player. Tobias Harris, same thing. Now they do need another power forward. If they could get a Jonathan Isaac caliber or DeAndre Hunter type of player on the team instead of having Georges Niang trot out there to be their power forward and small forward, that'd be great. But this team has presently constructed 1 or 2 smart bench moves. This team should be the best team in the NBA, and they're just not because of Doc Rivers. I always say it. He raises the floor of your team and he lowers the ceiling, and it's just frustrating to be a 76ers fan. So I'm giving him a thumbs down despite the winning record. Still early, halfway through the season. You saw the Boston Celtics last year, so they could turn around, go on a run, win a championship. Not like doom and gloom for the 76ers, but it is what it is. New Orleans Pelicans, they're getting, I don't know. Do we give them a thumbs up, thumbs down? When they were healthy, they were the best team in the NBA, at least in the Western Conference. When they're not healthy, which is most of the other time, they're losing games. So I'll give them a thumbs to the side. This is kind of what we expected from the Pelicans. They're playing good. They're not the 9 seed Cinderella story anymore. They're in that top tier of teams in the West. So I guess that is a market improvement. So you know what? I'll give them a thumbs up. I'm still annoyed and frustrated, and it is what it is. Their superstars are always going to be hurt every single year, every single game. They're going to say, just wait until we're healthy. So sure, like a slight thumbs up for the New Orleans Pelicans. Dallas Mavericks, thumbs down, period. Roster construction, Luka Ball, coaching, fire Jason Kidd, get another good player on their team, and maybe I'll start thinking about getting a thumbs up. Right now, the only players that I'm even keeping on this freaking Mavericks squad, you look at the roster, is Luka, of course, Spencer Dinwiddie, Christian Wood. The entire rest of the team is expendable except for maybe Josh Green, who's having a breakout season. McKinley Wright, gross. Frank Ntilikina, no. Jaden Hardy, maybe in 5 years. Reggie Bullock, God, cut this man. Davi Bertans, God, cut this man. Maxi Kleba out with injury for another 5 months. Dwight Powell, yikes. JaVale McGee, yikes. Dorian Finney-Smith, oof. Like the whole team top to bottom is expendable, and they just don't make moves. Whoever's the GM, I forget his name for the Mavericks, is atrocious, needs to be fired. You got Luka freaking Doncic playing at an MVP level right now, and they're just not giving him the support that he needs. Sacramento Kings, thumbs up. I know they're having a little bit of a rough stretch. They started the season pretty hot, got screwed out of a couple games. It is what it is. Welcome to the NBA. And then they've been basically a back and forth, win a couple games, lose a couple games, win a couple games, lose a couple games. But the Sacramento Kings expectations are first round exit, and they're pretty much on track for that. So thumbs up to the Sacramento Kings, who are finally going to make the playoffs for the first time in 57 years. New York Knicks, thumbs up. Jalen Brunson signing, thumbs up. Everything has been working for the New York Knicks this season as far as Jalen Brunson is concerned. Now, they've been streaky. They win a bunch of games, lose a bunch of games. But without Jalen Brunson, they'd be a sub 500 team, is what it is. So thumbs up to the Knicks as far as this season is concerned. Are they going to win a championship? No, but they're at least competitive. Indiana Pacers, 2 thumbs up with an asterisk, because I think they should have tanked for 1 more year. I think their talent, top to bottom, is not good enough to win a championship. I think Tyrese Halliburton is a great point guard, could be a future all-NBA point guard. Ben Mathurin is a bucket getter, all-star. I don't know what his ceiling is because I didn't see this level of performance when he was playing at, where was he? Arizona, I think. I didn't see 20 points a night. I still don't know if I see 20 points a night, but I certainly see a good young player in Ben Mathurin. Buddy Hield is Buddy. And then they don't really have a good power forward. Jalen Smith has been pretty disappointing. Miles Turner, is he going to be on the team or not? Isaiah Jackson, I mean, right now he's a backup center at best. Chris Duarte, you know what he is. So I feel like this team doesn't have their superstar. I think they have a whole bunch of great all-star or role players. I think they should have tanked for 1 more year, gotten a Victor Wembanyama, gotten a Scoot Henderson, or whoever is going to be available in this draft that's going to be that player that puts them over the top. Maybe they figure out a way to sign a Giannis or a Tatum, but I just feel like their superstar talent on this Pacers squad isn't good enough to win a championship. And unfortunately, I think the Indiana Pacers got too good too early, that they're going to be stuck in mediocrity, which they've been stuck in for the last 15 years. So unfortunately, it's 2 thumbs up this season with an asterisk for, did they get too good too quick? Miami Heat, thumbs down. Just a disappointing season, disappointing off season where they lost PJ Tucker, didn't do anything. And then really they haven't made any changes, and their roster is, you know, pretty meh. Kyle Lowry is washed. Tyler Hero, day to day, he's going to be good. Day to day, he's going to be bad. They don't really have a small forward. Caleb Martin, Max Strus, Haywood Highsmith, Duncan Robinson, Jimmy Butler is going to do Jimmy things, so he's great. But then beyond that, they're missing a couple of wing players. Bam Adebayo, he just completely gave up on shooting, which is fine because he can't shoot, but he's an energy bunny. And then they got decent size behind him, Orlando Robinson. What happened to Yusuf or Omer Yurtseven? Is he gone? He has some kind of ankle injury. Anyway, yeah, they need to give Jimmy a little more help. Kyle Lowry, washed, get a better point guard, get some better wing depth, and maybe the Miami Heat are going to be a little bit of a better basketball team. But right now, 23-20 with championship aspirations with a prime Jimmy Butler in the final few years of that Jimmy Butler prime is disappointing. LA Clippers, I mean, I don't even know what to say about this team. Kawhi Leonard is coming back from injury, so he's going to miss half the season, and he's not going to give a shit. Paul George, injury riddled as well. The rest of the team, Look, man, they just don't care about the regular season. It is what it is. So I'm giving them a very solid thumbs to the side.
No.
Clippers are just a weird team to talk about. Phoenix Suns, definitely a 2 thumbs down. They're supposed to be championship caliber, dealing with injuries, dealing with chemistry, dealing with Monty Williams being a stubborn head coach, dealing with Jake Crowder. It's been a disappointing season top to bottom. Now, they were the best team in the NBA to start the season, and that was a nice surprise. But as I predicted, this is a come down year for the Suns. They're going to need to look in a different direction. Golden State Warriors, exact same thing. 2 thumbs down. Horribly disappointing season. When you came in, you're like, all right, not only did we win a championship, we got 1 year of experience under our belt for our young guys. We have a development train going on of James Wiseman, of Jonathan Kuminga, of Moses Moody, of Jordan Poole, while we have our guys still under contract, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Kevon Looney, Andrew Wiggins. This team is both ready to win now and ready to win in the future. And it looks like it's not that way because some guy named Anthony freaking Lamb is earning minutes over Jonathan Kuminga, which is what? Some guy named Ty Jerome is earning way too many minutes. Ryan Rollins is seeing more minutes than Moses Moody does, which is just absolutely bizarre to me. So frustrating to watch the young guys for the Warriors. Look, you're not going to win a lot of games with Jordan Poole, Ty Jerome, Dante DiVincenzo, Anthony Lamb, and JaMychal Green as your players. It's just a bad roster. So when healthy, the Golden State Warriors are still a mostly formidable team. They just haven't been healthy. They haven't been right in a while. Maybe some of the come down from last year's championship, the rookies, it just feels like every single one is a bust. And you want to say no. You want to say Jonathan Kuminga gives you great energy, has the potential to develop his shooting, has the potential to develop his offense. You want to say James Wiseman could be a superstar center at some point, but they aren't, and they're not getting put in the position to succeed by Steve Kerr, who maybe he's not a development coach. Maybe he's a play your guys in their prime coach, which is why Anthony freaking Lamb is earning minutes. Anyway, thumbs down for the Golden State Warriors. Utah Jazz, gonna get a thumbs to the side. They're playing remarkable basketball, at least at the start of the season. They were ridiculous. And they just win games on magic. I don't know how else to describe it. Jordan Clarkson, Kelly Olynyk, Malik Beasley, Lauri Markkanen, they just make magical buckets in the fourth quarter that put them over the top in these close games. And look at these scores. 2-point game, 5-point game, 8-point game. This was a big one over the Rockets. 2-point game, 3-point game, 1-point game, 5-point game, 4. Every single game they play in is close, which is at least fun if you're a Utah Jazz fan who has no expectations. As far as winning championships, though, not going to say that they're even close for the next few years. I have them as the worst roster, top to bottom, talent-wise, in the NBA. So obviously, Lauri Markkanen playing at a all-star level and Jordan Clarkson playing his butt off is going to change that. But as far as the Jazz season goes, I don't know. I'd still say thumbs down. Thumbs up as far as winning, but thumbs down as far as tanking and getting superstars on their team. Minnesota Timberwolves, thumbs down, dealing with cat injury, dealing with Rudy Gobert being a question mark everywhere he goes, dealing with Anthony Edwards' frustration, dealing with D'Lo sucking, dealing with Chris Finch not having a great coaching season. Got to give them a thumbs down. They still have the potential to turn the season around. I think roster-wise, the team is fine. They just got to figure out their chemistry, figure out their shooting issues and ball handling issues. And at the end of the day, they sapped all their depth for Rudy Gobert. So Rudy needs to make up for that. Karl Anthony Towns should be coming back soon. Atlanta Hawks, same thing. Traded for DeJounte Murray, and they've just been a big oof as far as expectations are concerned. Trae Young has been serviceable stat-wise. DeJounte Murray, occasionally a superstar point guard, and the rest of the team is just disappointing. You look at them top to bottom, you think they're good. Trae, DeJounte Murray, DeAndre Hunter, John Collins, Clint Capella. You look at that roster in 2K, you go, damn, that's a competitive roster. You look at the depth. Aaron Holiday, Bogdan Bogdanovic, AJ Griffin, Jalen Johnson earning minutes, Onyeka Okongwu. I mean, you say, all right, they go 10 deep. This is a good team. Yeah, Trae Young's defense isn't going to be great, but now you have DeJounte Murray, one of the best defenders at his position. You got DeAndre Hunter, one of the best defenders at his position. You got Clint Capella, one of the best defenders at his position, although he's been out with injury. That's been mismanaged by the Hawks squad. So you say this team should have championship expectations, but they're not going to. They need time to develop, and Nate McMillan, just at this point, not the right head coach. Thumbs down for the Hawks. Blazers, I mean, they made the move for Jeremy Grant. I thought it was stupid. That's why I'm doing a Blazers franchise, because I thought they were going to be stuck in mediocrity. Started the season hot, and then we kind of see what they are at this point. 19-22 feels about right. Thumbs down, Portland Trail Blazers. Chicago Bulls, hugely disappointing season. They're starting to turn it around. I think they went on a win streak, right? 1, 2, 3. They're like the Giant Slayers. Anytime they play a good team, they win. Anytime they play a bad team, they lose. Really hilarious, but just a thumbs down. Zach LaVine coming back from injury has not looked great. DeMar he's been DeMar. We like him. We don't love him. Simple as that. Lonzo Ball, of course, out with injury. Nikola Vucevic, he's a funny player to talk about. Patrick Williams actually having a career year, but disappointing as far as being the number 4 overall pick is concerned. I mean, you know what it is. Bulls are disappointing. Toronto Raptors. They're starting to streak. They won 3 games in a row. So all of a sudden you're saying, yeah, let's go Raptors. But overall the season, top to bottom, been disappointing. A lot of people are calling, blow it up, myself included. Trade Siakam, trade Fred VanVleet, trade Gary Trent Jr., trade everybody not named Scotty Barnes, honestly, and just start this thing all over again. Oklahoma City Thunder gonna get a thumbs up, surprisingly, after turning it around about 1/4 of the way through the season. It looked like they were tanking. They were losing a whole bunch of games. Shea was great, but the rest of the team was ass. And then they just started figuring things out. Josh Giddey has been playing incredible basketball. Jalen Williams, of course, being a great rookie for them. Mike Muscala earning a lot of minutes. Lou Dort has been playing better. Isaiah Joe has been a bucket. Trey Mann has started to figure some things out. I mean, they're playing good basketball. So right now, thumbs up for them. They, of course, have Chet Holmgren waiting in the wings. I know we all wanted that magical Alexei Pokusevski, Chet Holmgren, Victor Wembanyama lineup. I just don't think that's going to happen, but they're playing really good right now. So thumbs up to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Lakers, thumbs down. You already know. Washington Wizards, just a hugely disappointing season from them. Thumbs down as well. Orlando Magic, it was almost a thumbs up the way they were playing competitive, the way they were in every single game, and they were losing by 1 or 2 points without a point guard. Then Markelle Fultz comes back, and you're like, all right, they got their point guard. Let's get it. They win 2 games in a row. You go, all right, they're going to make the playoffs. And then they started to lose again. So thumbs down to the Orlando Magic. Paulo Banchero's been playing good. Outside of that, no. San Antonio Spurs, honestly, this is what you expected. Thumbs to the side. They play tough. Greg Popovich has coached these guys well. They always play competitive. Jeremy Sohan has even been playing moderately impressive. Devin Vassell out with injury for, I think, the rest of the season, but he was playing really good basketball, so it is what it is. Welcome to Spurs. Detroit Pistons, and I know this is what you expected from a team that's tanking, but holy crap, they're worse than you thought they would be. I mean, they lose by, what, 30 to the 76ers, 12, 20, what is this, 25, 29 to the Blazers. Their losses are just hideous. It's not good basketball to watch, and unlike the Spurs, they don't play hard. Killian Hayes has made a reemergence as a basketball player, but other than that, just a yikes to the Pistons. Charlotte Hornets, also disappointing as well. We all kind of saw this happening when Miles Bridges went out, and I've been saying, just bench LaMelo Ball, let him rest his entire body for a full NBA season, and come back next year with Victor Wembanyama. They still refuse to do that, and they're trying to win, which is the saddest thing of all, that they're in this tier of Pistons, Spurs, Rockets, because they are trying to win, and they just can't. That's how bad they are, while the other teams are trying to lose. And Houston Rockets, just the worst team in the NBA. Steven Silas has got to go. These guys are playing undisciplined. These guys are playing crazy. These guys aren't developing at all. They're not being put in positions to succeed, which I always talk about. They've just been an embarrassing franchise. And lastly, we will be doing a quick playoffs, I guess, preview. So if everything is as presently constructed, this is what the playoffs would look like. Jumping into, do they have the play-in tournament? Hey, with the seeding as of today's records, it would go in the Western Conference: Nuggets, Grizzlies, Pelicans, Mavericks, Kings, Clippers, Suns, Warriors, Jazz, and Timberwolves. On the other side, Celtics, Nets, Bucks, Cavaliers, 76ers, Knicks, Pacers, Heat, Hawks, and Bulls. And I'm going to do these predictions as if everybody is healthy. Injuries are turned off. You know what I mean? And we will just see how it goes. Of course, the Warriors are going to beat the Suns. They've won a championship. It is what it is. Timberwolves versus the Jazz. You got to take the Timberwolves. Jazz are a nice Cinderella story. They can beat you on any given night because they play so hard. But I got to take the Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards. On the other side, Heat versus Pacers. I got to say the Heat, with their veteran mentorship and leadership and Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero, they could beat the upstart Pacers. Not saying that the Pacers don't have a chance. And then Bulls versus Hawks. I think even on this kind of night, the Hawks should be good enough to win, which means the official play-in tournament final game would be the Timberwolves and the Suns. I think this is a rematch, right? This would be one heck of a matchup. I got to take the Suns for now. Both teams are not right, but I would say with Devin Booker back, the Suns are a little bit better of a team than the Timberwolves with Karl Anthony Towns back. Been there, done that. Hawks versus Pacers. Ooh, that's tough. I could see either team blowing it out. If the Hawks play good, if they play their brand of basketball, they could win and be competitive. So I'm going to say the Hawks. No offense to the Pacers. I think they're a little bit short. Maybe they get a little lucky in the lottery, pick up another great player to put them over the top. So here we are in the playoffs. Nuggets versus Suns. I mean, this is easy at this point. You got to take the Nuggets. Kings versus Mavericks. No offense to the Kings. First round exit. The Mavericks, in spite of all their issues, in spite of Jason Kidd, they have Luka and the Kings don't. Simple as that. Pelicans versus Clippers. The injury off. Who would you take? Kawhi and Paul George or Zion and Brandon Ingram? Who's going to be more reliable? Who's going to be more healthy? Oh, that's frustrating for both of these fan bases. I'm going to take the Clippers, assuming Kawhi Leonard and Paul George's health. You can't ever assume that, but I would just say if those guys are healthy, they've won championships, or at least Kawhi Leonard has. And yeah, they're just the better players. Now, Grizzlies versus Warriors. This is going to be a fun matchup. It was last season before Ja got hurt. Now, again, assuming everybody's health, right now the Warriors are not right and the Grizzlies are. So I'm going to say the Grizzlies out-duel the defending champion Warriors in the first round. For the East, Hawks versus Celtics. No argument in here. 76ers versus Cavs. That would be a fun matchup. Joel Embiid trying to score on Jared Allen and Evan Mobley getting double-teamed every single time. Donovan Mitchell just schooling Tyrese Maxey. You know what? I would take the Cavaliers here. 76ers has been a little bit disappointing. They've shown that they can't defend all that well in spite of having Joel Embiid. So despite Joel Embiid being the best player on the court, taking the Cavaliers. Knicks versus Bucks. No offense to Jalen Brunson fan, but the Bucks are the better team top to bottom. Nets versus Heat. Same thing. Assuming Kevin Durant's health, the Heat just aren't as competitive. Which means we got Nuggets, Mavericks, Battle of the European Stars, and Clippers, Grizzlies. So do I take the Nuggets or the Mavericks? I would say the Mavericks. Luka Doncic is better than Nikola Jokic, but I would say that the Nuggets team is better than the Mavericks. As for the Clippers versus Grizzlies, that's tough. I got to take the Clippers, man. Again, assuming everybody's healthy and playing at the peak of their abilities, I think that the Clippers with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George and Ty Lue are better than the Grizzlies in spite of how good the Grizzlies have been playing. I'm a bit of a Grizzlies doubter. It is what it is. Every single time the playoffs come around, I just say, I don't know if they have the capacity to do it. I don't know if their team top to bottom is good enough to win a championship. Looking at the Cavaliers and the Celtics, got to take the best team in the NBA. And Bucks versus Nets, another rematch of them. I'm taking the Nets because they were just playing so freaking good when Kevin Durant was healthy. I think the Nets may be the best team in the NBA when everybody is healthy. Clippers versus Nuggets, that's going to be a battle, but we've seen the Clippers dismantle the Nuggets. Of course, we've seen them blow a 3-1 lead to the Nuggets as well, but this is the era of Ty Lue, no longer the era of Doc Rivers. I'm taking the Clippers, and I'm taking the Nets. Screw it. Celtics have been the best team in the NBA. I'm saying Kevin Durant gets his revenge on Jason Tatum. Although, should I? You know what? Never mind. We'll take the Celtics, best team in the NBA. I've been rocking with them. Celtics versus Clippers, Battle of the Wings, Kawhi Leonard versus Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown versus Paul George, Robert Williams versus Ivica Zubac, Marcus Smart versus Reggie Jackson. Would be a heck of a matchup. And you know what? I'm just going to take the Celtics and say this is the best team in the NBA and they deserve to be recognized as such. Celtics walk away NBA champions after losing just the previous year. That's going to be my playoff predictions. And that is your full midseason recap. Let me know what your thoughts are, what you agree with, what you disagree with, and I'll catch you in the next one.